really hard on.
Get him in gear. It's beginning. That's why I turned that on. I want to be able to see it. Good. Good evening, everyone. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, May 22nd, 2022, 6 p.m. I'd like to invite Robert Jones, if he'll come forward, provide our invocation and lead us in our pledge, if everyone will stand.
Let us pray. Lord Jesus, I want to thank you. Thank you for all of our men and women in uniform, past and present, as we remember this weekend those that paid the ultimate price for our freedom. Lord, we thank you for our police officers, our firefighters, and all of our first responders. Thank you, Jesus, for our elected officials, all of whom have fought to endure our freedom, freedoms that so many take for granted as we go through tonight's meeting. I pray, Lord, that with your caring hand, you guide our leaders in making decisions that glorify you. And Lord, humble us this weekend as we remember those that have given their all. Father, in closing, I also ask and plead, even beg of you as we pray for our neighbors and friends and family in Buffalo, New York, and in Texas, as that you will never understand this unfathomable sin. Please, God, give us understanding, healing as only you can. In your holy name, everyone says, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Mayor Williams,
Here.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Here.
Councilmember Cagle,
Here.
Councilmember Helton. Here. Councilmember Witt. Here. City Manager Dorsey.
Here.
City Attorney Litchford.
Here.
All right. I assume everyone's had an opportunity to review the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes for May 12th, 2022 council meeting and the declaration of surplus property. I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
A motion approved by Vice Mayor Chauncey and a second by Councilmember Helton. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. We'll move to the next item, communications from citizens. This is an opportunity for any citizen to come forward and address the council with any questions, issues, concerns, or accolades. We don't have anybody that's signed in, but if there's anyone in the audience that'd like to come forward, now is your opportunity. I see no one, so I will move on to communication from council members. Start on this side, Councilmember Cagle.
Have any?
Vice Mayor Johnson. Councilmember Hilton.
Nothing.
It's Witt, okay. All right. I will also convey the heartbreak and that happened in Buffalo and in Texas. It's horrendous. So let's just keep our thoughts and prayers with those families and family members during this time. One of the things I wanted to mention also is our past event, Spring into Safety. The event was on the 14th. It was a great event. We had many first responders participating in the community safety event at Camp Jordan. We had a lot of turnout from our citizens. Some of the activities, which I think I saw several of the council here that participated in it. We had a seatbelt crash simulator, fatal vision goggle driving course. That was pretty fun. I hadn't done that till this past time. Sobriety test. The fire, police, and EMS vehicles they were for viewing. The animal shelter had an adoption event. And there was bounce houses, obstacle course concessions, and many more. So it was a great time, and it was a lot of effort. Appreciate the effort put in to host this and provide this for our citizens to learn a little bit more about safety and about our first responders. On the dog park, I noticed that we got it's completely the EPA monitor and pole and every fence is all down. So that's a great another step. So we appreciate that movement. One of the things I wanted to mention upcoming is the Red Wolves home game is the 28th, 7:30. There will be fireworks after the game. So I wanted to mention that. And then on the 30th, we have a Memorial Day event that we always have. It's very special. It's at 1:15. It's at Pioneer Frontier there in front where the flags are. Ceremony will include laying of the wreath, 21 gun salute, and remarks from Congressman Fleshman. Memorial Day is a special day for remembrance of those that paid the ultimate sacrifice, as well as those that have lost loved ones in service. We're humbled by those sacrifices, as we know how great they are, and we never want to forget these individuals. We enjoy our freedom for their sacrifices and their service. That's all that I have. I've got, just wanted to kind of you probably have it on your list, paving update and a splash pad announcement / update. So that's all I have. I'll pass it off to City Manager Dorsey.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I will start with the fact that our splash pad will be opening tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. So it'll be open for the nice hot Memorial Day weekend that's coming up. And we will get with council sometime in the next week or so to see what might be a good time for you all to come out to have a little opening ceremony for the splash pad too as well. We're happy about that.
I'm sorry, but we wanted to get it open so they can enjoy it on this holiday weekend.
Yes, for
And-
Memorial Day.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Exactly. Road paving, got with Chris Vaughn. We went through the sections of road that we've identified that would be good candidates for spot paving. We're at the point where he's done all of the linear measurements. Now it's up to me to honestly put it into a spreadsheet, see what that cost comes out to. I've already talked with Ace Engineering about possible dollars per ton, $150 per ton to start looking at how many linear square feet we have to go. So hopefully I'll have some at the next meeting and maybe even a resolution to give you all to discuss.
Yeah, let's shoot for
So
that.
we go. Yes. Now that the budget's out of the way. Yes, I'll definitely go to that, do that. I gave to City Attorney Litchford a agreement. I don't think the council has to vote on it, dealing with Tally Construction, where they want to utilize the vacant lot that we have for the animal shelter, since we're not building on it yet. They want to be able to use that as a storage site for some of their equipment that they're getting ready to start with the multimodal out on Ringo Road, which shouldn't be a problem. They'd be off of that land before we ever started building on it anyway. I don't know if you wanted to comment a little bit more on that or.
No, we'll get that agreement. It'll provide, protection for the city. They got to identify, we're not responsible for any of the equipment. We're not, or any stored items. They'll have to restore the land to its prior condition. Those are your big benchmarks that we'll get to, but that we're comfortable where we sit on it.
Thank you. And Diane, you have one thing you need to bring up about from,
Yes, sir.
yes.
We are required because of Gatsby 75 that we have to have an actuarium done now every year on our OPEB, which is post-employment benefits, which are, we have employees that after they retire, we pay their insurance up until they're 65, be it a percentage or the full amount. We also have an old retirement system that we still have a few people in that are an annuity, and these have to be, they have to have an actuarium every year, and I received the bill for it, which has gone up some. And so I wanted to tell y'all because it goes over my our $10,000 limit. The bill is for $13,216, which we're going to need to pay. Like I said, this is a requirement for our audit because it is considered a liability. Because when they're doing it and they're looking at the post-employment insurance, they look at all our employees and who possibly is going to, when they retired, either 25 or 30, and we're going to continue to do their insurance. They want to make sure that we are able financially to do that. I need permission to pay the bill.
like to make a motion to pay that bill.
Second.
I would have a motion to approve by Councilmember Hilton and a second by Councilmember Whit. Do we have any discussion? Do we need to number this?
Ms. Middleton, we can put this will be resolution 32, well, kind of 73.
3273. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilton.
Yes.
Councilmember Witt.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Thank you. And last I have on my list, on Friday, tomorrow, we are going to have a employee picnic for Memorial Day for all the employees to come out and get some hot dogs and burgers and just have a chance to relax and reflect and just to spend some time together. It's one way to thank them for their hard work during the year as well. And we try to do that Memorial Day and Labor Day. So y'all are welcome to come out. It starts tomorrow, 11 to 1, I think, right? Roughly. So that is all I have.
And Clint's cooking.
Yes, Clint is our master griller.
Thank you, sir. All right,
I'm sorry, I do have one more thing.
go ahead.
Apologize. I want to also give an update real quick on the North Mac Smith Road. We have gone through and we've gotten our right-of-way numbers from ASA Engineering, and we are going through and analyzing those right now. And we should hopefully, we know we're going to have the $1 million from the county, which we've talked about.
Yep.
So we're going to go through that list, and we hope to have a resolution for you because I can't buy anything till y'all approve it. So hopefully have a resolution for you all at the next meeting to be able to move forward with that.
Perfect.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for the update. Yes, sir.
Back here several months ago, I asked about Scruggs Road, and I didn't see it on the list. No, evidently the person heard we was going to be doing some repaving, so he called me to remind me to see if we could look at Scruggs Road down there. It's not very far from the Ringo Road to the state line there.
I know part of it we've repaved. We repaved about a couple months ago to fix some of the spots. And one problem is, and it might be a more expensive fix than we're able to do right now, but a lot of heavy construction traffic comes from Georgia up Scruggs Road and onto Ringo Road. And I don't know what the original specs were when they built Scruggs Road, but it keeps getting big depressions in it and something. That might be a larger fix than what we have for in the paving budget. But we've tried,
So
yeah, but we've tried to, go through anyway right now and pave those rough spots.
Thank you, sir. All right. We will move to old business. We have nothing on the agenda. However, we do have a tabled resolution 3273, and I think we have an update. Do we have an update on this? Oh, I'm sorry, 3266. I was looking at my notes for the one we just added. Sorry, 3266.
The 3266, if the council remembers, that was the request for the sign variance related to the new Portofinos on the sign. That applicant has requested, they've withdrawn their application. So really that matter has now just been rendered moot. So it'll get removed and no further actions needed.
Thank you for the update.
we don't have to vote to remove it from the table to get it removed. Because it'll still be on the table.
Well, I mean, it's rendered moot.
Okay.
It's rendered moot. I mean,
Okay.
it's a distinction without a difference really, but it's that there is no application pending anymore. And so now there's no action
Right.
needed.
And if we remove it, then we have to take action too. Yeah, so. All right, thank you. So we'll move to new business, item A, resolution number 3272.
It's a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to donate 20 units of body armor to Awakened Generation Ministries to assist in the evacuation of civilians from the Ukraine.
Yes, sir.
We have 20 units of body armor that are expired. We can't issue those out to officers. We were contacted, actually, one of our officers when he was in seminary had apparently dealt with this charity at some point. Our wish is to donate them to Awakened Generations. They will ship them to Ukraine and they will use them in whatever capacity they have as far as getting civilians out of the country.
Thank you, sir. I'll entertain a motion for resolution number 3272.
Motion to approve 3272.
Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilmember Cagle and a second by Vice Mayor Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, Ms. Middleton.
Vice Mayor Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution 3272 approved. We'll move to item B, presentation of the fiscal year 2023 budget.
Thank you, Mayor. I believe all the council members have received a copy of the proposed budget that we have spent many, many hours putting together. I want to thank Ms. Qualls and Ms. Senegalio for all the help they've given us to put this together. I owe her a few things later on to thank her. But we're very happy to put this together, and I'm going to read the overview to you all as part of my presentation here. The economy seems now to be recovering from a recession due to COVID-19. With this in mind, the City of East Ridge has been careful and selective in the preparation of the fiscal year 2023 budget request. The fiscal year 2023 revenue picture looks steady even with the effects from the pandemic. The city is projecting a slightly curved year of revenue growth over the FY22 budget. The above revenue projection does not include the monetary increase in the border region allocation from the state, which is mostly a pass-through to eligible businesses. The border region has been helpful in allowing East Ridge to weather the economic turndown. Some of the city's restaurants and entertainment venues are still under construction and will open in the upcoming fiscal year, which will result in increased property tax and sales tax revenue for the city. The revenue sources will be monitored during the year to track any of the changes due to unexpected economic shifts. The budgets were prepared at a maintenance level, which means we try to keep most of the services level as compared to last year. Hamilton County Consolidated 911 and their dispatch funding has also increased slightly. The city now is in the process of transitioning its emergency medical services into Hamilton County EMS. With this, as you all know, comes a 3-year commitment payment of about $170,000 a year, and we are getting ready to go into year 2 of that payment. Police is in need of 8 vehicles to replace a portion of their aging fleet, with plans to try and keep some replacement funds in future budgets as well. Division requests for increased expenditures were evaluated and funded according to immediate need. The City of East Ridge's main source of revenue continues to be in order property tax, local sales tax, and state share taxes. The economic makeup of East Ridge is primarily a bedroom community. Our main dependent and reliable source of revenue continues to be and will always be property taxes. The departments of the city have been carefully monitoring the expenses within their budgets. The City of East Ridge prides itself on being a very resident and business-friendly city and providing a high level of service with a minimum amount of taxes. Some of the other items that are included in this budget that I'm sure we'll be discussing at our budget workshop. $300,000 for the new animal shelter architecture and engineering phase, for the cost for that. $335,000 for 8 new police vehicles. $106,150 for the new fire engine that the city council approved. We don't have it yet, but this will be the first payment of 7 going towards that new fire engine. $100,000 for property demolition and cleanup. We've been having huge issues with certain properties around here, and we have a need for funding to be able to try to address that this year. $75,000 for a tractor shed, as I call it, for Camp Jordan in the back over there. The one we have there is very old and dilapidated and has been in desperate need for replacement for some time. $67,500 for updated court software to get them software that's more efficient and compatible with the upgrade that police department has already made last year. $55,500 for police replacement tasers. $32,900, I mentioned before, an increase in 911 dispatch funding. And in all the fuel budgets in the city, we increased them by 33% because of the unknown costs of petroleum at this time. We still don't know where it's going to go. The fiscal year 2023 operating budget includes a 4% cost of living increase raise for our valued employees. The budget as presented requires no property tax increase. The City of East Ridge is optimistic about the financial future of our great city and is pleased to present the 2023 operating budget. You all notice that the budget's, it's pretty much the same format I've used the last couple of years, where it goes through each of the individual departments, and we try to lay it out where you can have a summary of the departments, a little blurb about what the department does, what some of the things that they've dealt with this year, and they've also put in a couple of the accomplishments they've had during this year. Then there's other pages within there that go line by line of the different items within their budget that we will be talking about as we move forward through our budget hearing. But besides that, it's, like I said, it's pretty much arranged in the exact same order as it was last year and the year before, with the general fund and then all the special revenue funds. And then we go into, like I said, the debt service and the capital funds. And like I said, the biggest difference in the amount of the budget this year versus last year is the ARPA funds, excuse me. And the Board of Region dollars have gone up, but most of the increase there is passed through, which has been very helpful for us. So my next question is, when would you all like to have a budget workshop to go through this before the first reading, if possible? And if that's something you'd rather I email out to try to get some dates and times from you for the best possible time, I'm happy to do that and send it out and get some input from you all.
My opinion is if we can try to set a date, it'd be much easier than 5 of us crossing emails and then you're juggling a time, in my experience. But if we can't tonight. But
That's fine.
does anybody have any ideas or recommendations on a time, maybe even as early as next week?
I'm pretty flexible, but I'd prefer it to be during the day or mid-morning instead of in the evening.
I was thinking maybe
But
June 9th or June 8th or June 9th next week.
Well, that's the week after next.
I'm sorry, June 2nd. I'm sorry,
Okay.
June 1st and 2nd. I'm sorry, I was off a week.
pretty flexible in the evening too, but I'm just throwing it out there.
I got a dentist appointment at 11 o'clock on June the 2nd.
Start at 2 or 3. It'll probably only be a couple hours at the most.
Yeah, I mean, I'm free Tuesday afternoon. I'm free Thursday afternoon. And then Friday. So Tuesday and Thursday in the afternoon's good for me.
Tuesday is court.
That's why I said Wednesday and Thursday. Yes, because Tuesday is
Okay.
also, right after Memorial Day. So I figured,
It's true.
okay, so
Okay, well, we can follow up with emails if we need to.
I'll start looking towards Thursday, June 2nd.
Thursday, Friday.
See what
I'm fine
Yeah, see what you see how
after.
your calendar is. Mid-afternoon, like you said. Whatever time you all, we will make time on our end.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, the department heads, Diane, Michelle, everyone for their efforts. We know it's a long taxing experience to pull all this together and collate it. We definitely appreciate it. And I know a lot of late hours because I've been over here coming in the evenings and seeing y'all still here. So thank you very much for all that you do to put this together for us timely. Any questions concerning the budget at this point? And we'll have a workshop and we'll have 2 readings. All right. Thank you. So that's the last item. We have a short agenda. So we will move to the discussion of the tentative agenda for June 9th, 2022 council meeting. We will have our employee milestone awards for May. We do not have any old business on the agenda. We do have a lot of new business. So we have a unnumbered ordinance for the approval of the fiscal year 2023 budget. That'd be the first reading.
Correct.
We have an unnumbered ordinance for a budget amendment, first reading.
Yes, that's what we'll do. The final cleanup of this year's budget. So I'll be in balance and I won't get a finding with my auditors.
We don't want that.
And we don't want that.
Nope.
And it will include the motorcycles y'all just authorized at the last meeting that we
Okay.
were buying. So I have to include them.
All right. Thank you. Then the next item is an unnumbered ordinance for the right-of-way abandonment for 6521 Ringo Road, Wally's Restaurant, tax map number 169L L004.01. That would be the first reading. Yes,
I
sir.
recommend if I could,
Yes.
if you don't mind including the other 2 in there with it, because it's the same subject.
Okay. All right. Yes. So it'll be also another unknown ordinance for 6519 Ringo Road, Super 8 Motel, tax map 169L L004. That'll be the first reading. And then Another unnumbered ordinance for the right-of-way abandonment for 6517 Ringo Road, future site of Candlewood Inn and Suites, tax map 169LL004.02. That would be the first reading. Yes, sir.
So Mayor and Council, this actually came in front of the Planning Commission in 1972. And it went in front of the City Council and was approved. Basically, what happens here is you have 3 parcels and what I like to call paper roads. They're roads that were never developed. They're just on paper. During that approval for the council, they closed these roads, which when you close a road, you're just closing it to vehicle traffic. Applicant is now wanting to abandon these roads. Once you abandon a road, a certain amount of that property goes back to the original, to the applicant. So on these properties here, you have an unnamed road on 6519 and 6517 Ringgold Road. You also have 6521 Ringgold Road and 6517 that both contain Slater and McDonald Road. I know this is very confusing. Jackie's already looking at me like, man, what are you talking about here? But I did I asked Planning Commission for a condition to be placed on the end of Slater Road, where everybody knows if you're traveling east on Slater, and you go to the stop sign, you can make a right, you'd follow behind Champions or the side of Champions out to Ringo Road. I asked for a condition to be placed on that road remain open and never to be closed where an island or anything could be placed there, because that would affect some of the businesses in the rear of those properties. So basically, we're taking all these original unopened roads and we're abandoning them.
Sir, any questions, council? Nope. All right. Thank you. Not at this time.
You'll get me on the next one.
All right, good deal. So we'll move on to item F, an unnumbered resolution. Actually, will be F, G, and H. Go ahead and hit those 3 at the same time. This is 3 IDB appointments. One is from me, Mayor Williams. The next one is from Vice Mayor Chauncey. And then we have a council appointment from the entire council. Any questions on the IDB appointments? And we've had that properly advertised. So everything should be in place for anyone who wants to fill out an application. Okay, on the website, we have 1 application so far. All right, thank you. So then the next item is an unnumbered resolution, approval of bids for property cleanup at 711 State Line Road. Yes, sir.
Mayor and Council, so this case was brought before the Housing Commission. Basically, what's going on here is we have a property that needs extensive cleanup on it. We did send out bid requests to the Chattanooga Times Free Press, and I'll have sent out, I think, bids for 3. Janet, can you remind me of which ones those were? I can't. Freedom Roll Off, Junk Kings, and but we do have some bids out for them. Obviously, we had one come in, it was like 14,000. So at this point, we had to send them out for bids, so for council approval. And Mike could elaborate on this as well. He's been doing the case in the house.
Yeah, this has just been a case for a long time, and there's been efforts to clean it up now, but it's gotten to the point the property owner is just not able to do it. He's even securing somebody has been, he hadn't done it. So when we got the Housing Commission order for cleanup there, Mr. Ritchie went through and got an initial evaluation that exceeded $10,000. And so the recommendation I said was, well, it needs to come to council. This council will need to approve it. It's already been ordered for cleanup. This body just needs to order approval of the respective bid that came in that will open up or decide at the next meeting.
I have one question about that. I've been following him about this gentleman, and he's got a lot of vehicles over there. So when we issue this cleanup order and they go in there and remove the vehicles, do they still belong to the property owner, or when we issue this, do they become the property owner of the guy that we issue the cleanup for?
No, that's the funds or anything that's taken can be used to pay off for the city. So the city can get reimbursed for this.
So the trucks, the vehicles
Yeah.
all belong to us?
That's right. At this point,
Okay.
they're declared to be essentially abandoned by the property owner because they're not there. He has to keep it in compliance. And by failure to do that, he is subjecting them to be taken.
Any other questions?
Yes, so will they ultimately end up in our impound lot and be surplused off like all the other cars in the impound?
Well, let me correct this. You know what the bid is, but the cost for us, we can put as a lien to the property. The actual items that are taken, they'll go to the whatever cleanup crew. The cleanup crew gets those. We're able to use
clean up
any
the
good cost to us, we then put towards a lien on the property for reimbursement. So that sort of answers it both ways, but it goes to the cleanup crew, excuse me.
That's what I want to know. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
And that's really industry standard because they're not going to clean it up without the ability to get salvage, you know, with the rubbish that's on the property. And so that we've actually asked how many, I don't know how many we've asked to try to work with that, but that's what the industry standard is. But again, any cost that the city incurs, we're able to attach that as a lien for reimbursement to the city. And we've looked, properties free and clear of any liens. So there will be the ability to put the lien on and get reimbursement.
More. Yes, all right. Well, we settled the vehicles thing. Now, aren't there an issue with a house not inhabitable?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think that that was ever the,
We've not done an inspection.
Yeah,
of the
no
interior
inspection.
yet. There are
That's right.
concerns.
Okay.
The Housing Commission is aware of it. There are concerns. What it came down to was the condition of the exterior of the premises was so bad, they focused on it for now, but there will, the concerns are there.
The only other question I have is, can we assume that there'll be ongoing maintenance that'll need to be done for it not to get into shape that it's in? Or is that a housing commission
That's-
question?
It'd be the AHO or the Housing
Okay.
Commission will address that.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, one other question. So if we put a lien on the property, say it's 10,000 or 12,000, whatever the cost ends up being for the cleanup, it's very unlikely that we'll ever be able to recoup those costs from the homeowner. Assume that he doesn't ever, we don't ever get it from that source. Property were ever go into foreclosure, that would come up as a lien whenever they do the title search, and that lien would have to be wiped out, and the city would then get reimbursed, then and only if it ever went through foreclosure.
So all of our liens get put on the next year's tax roll. And so in October, when the bill goes out, that will be on the bill, the lien. And he will be responsible for satisfying it. If he's not able to satisfy it, at some point, it will go to the back tax sale. When they go through back tax sales, we always get notice of it and we file a motion that any opening bid at the back tax sale must include our cost. And so it will get reimbursed at that because the opening bid will be that amount. If it doesn't, then the city will acquire that property and the city can then sell it.
But if somebody decides to come up and buy the house anyway,
Any
then
sale.
the
will be
lien still has
collected.
to be cleared.
Correct.
Right, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's opening bid price, yeah. I mean,
So even if it sells,
yeah, we started that about 2017, I want to say. We came in, is that right, Ms. Qualls? And we met with the county and came up with a plan that has worked. We've got, I don't know what we've collected, but a fair amount of our liens that have been outstanding over the years has been added to that. They were never added to the tax roll. Legally, we were allowed to do it. And so we got the county, and all those liens now are getting paid. I get calls, gosh, once a week. I don't know, maybe once every 2 weeks of closing in East Ridge where we get some random, title company that says, hey, we need to know the lien amount. So we'll email Miss Mahoney or Miss Qualls and we get the lien amount and we're able to tack on all interest as well. And so interest is at 12% interest. Plus you're able to do it's expensive. But that's, that the city's using resources to go in and get this stuff. And it's not just this house. I mean, we're mowing lawns, we're cleaning up others. Mr. Ritchie and his crew are working weekly to get these properties cleaned up. And we take the lien and ultimately the reimbursement comes. It may be delayed, but it's delayed with interest. So It's been a good program over the last 5 years that we've implemented.
That's correct. And like Mr. Dorsey said, we exhausted our slum clearance this year. I mean, we
Yeah, we
zeroed it
did.
out. We have no more money to tear anything down, so.
All right, anything else? Any other business? All right, see none. Again, wish everyone a blessed and safe Memorial Day. Keep everyone in your, the service members in your thoughts and prayers during this time, and wish everybody a great weekend. This meeting is adjourned.
I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, and we honestly thought a long time we struggled with what we can do. Some salvage. I messed up on that. I wouldn't.